Guys, today I will be sharing how to make lemon meringue cupcakes. I did the lemon meringue actually the day before. So we need 2 lemons, half a cup plus 1 tablespoon of sugar. We're gonna need the zest and the juice of the lemon, 80 grams of butter, 2 egg yolks, and 2 eggs. So to begin, using a grater, we're just gonna get the lemon zest. We need the zest of 2 lemons. So this is what they look like. Set this aside for a second. And now it's time to get the juice of the lemon. So all in all, I have half a cup of lemon juice. So now in a pot, we're just gonna combine all the ingredients. So this is the 2 egg yolks. Now we're gonna add the 2 whole eggs without the shell. Now we're gonna add the sugar. Then whisk this before adding the next ingredients. Now we can add in the lemon zest. Next is to add the butter. And finally, the lemon juice. Now we're gonna move on to the stove with the heat setting medium to low heat. And then we're gonna cook this until the lemon curd thickens up. So you have to continuously mix this so the egg will not curdle. This will thicken up quite quickly, so when you're making this, you have to keep an eye on it. At this point, the lemon curd has thickened up. It's time to turn off the heat. And then we will gonna transfer this into a sterilized jar. I'm just gonna strain this so the lemon curd will be smooth. We're gonna remove the lemon zest. So just discard the lemon zest. So you can put this in the fridge. This will last for about 3 weeks. Again, I did this the night before, but you can do this the day you want to bake your cupcakes. Clean the side and the top lid part, then cover this with the lid and let it sit in the fridge. Now we're gonna move on to the cupcakes. We need 2 eggs that we're gonna separate. 2 tablespoons of sugar for the meringue, 1.5 tablespoons of sour cream, half a teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1.5 teaspoon of vanilla, half a cup of milk, 3/4 cup of sugar, 1.5 cups of cake flour, and half a cup of room temperature butter. So to begin, we're just gonna mix the butter just to break it up a little bit. And then we will add the sugar. At first, I'm using the whisk, but you can go straight ahead with a handheld mixer. Now I'm adding the vanilla. So I'm using my handheld mixer now. So mix this until they are well combined. Now we can add the sour cream. This is my favorite vanilla cupcakes. So I've used it in so many of my cupcake recipe. So continue whisking. Now we're gonna Stop for a second. And then we will separate the egg whites from the egg yolks. The egg yolks will go to the butter mixture, and we'll set aside the egg whites for the meringue later. So now we're gonna continue mixing the butter mixture. Now we're gonna gradually add the milk. Set this aside for a second. Let's combine the dry ingredients, which is the cake flour, salt, and baking powder. Give it a mix. And then we will sift this in with the butter mixture. Now using a spatula, mix the ingredients together using the folding method. Do not overmix this because we don't want to develop the gluten from the flour. Let's move on to the next step. Now whisk the egg whites until it is frothy. Once it is frothy, we can gradually add the sugar. Once the sugar is all in, continue mixing until we reach the steep peak stage, just like this. By the way, before you start baking, preheat the oven at 180 degrees Celsius. So now add the meringue into the butter in 2 additions using the folding method. And once everything is well combined, this is now ready to be put into the prepared cupcake pan. So I'm filling my cupcakes about 3/4 of the way full, and then we will bake this in a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius for about 20 to 25 minutes, or until when you insert a toothpick in the middle and the toothpick comes out clean. If you find that your cupcake is browning too fast, cover the top with foil, and this is what they look like after baking. Now put them in the wire rack to cool down completely. So this is now the lemon curd. I'm just gonna prepare everything while the cupcake is cooling down. So I'm just putting the lemon curd into a piping bag. The cupcake has cooled down, so I'm gonna create a hole in the center using an apple corer. If you don't have an apple corer, you can use a knife to make a hole. Don't discard the trimmings. We're gonna use it to cover the top. So now it's time to fill in the hole with the lemon curd. Then cover the top with the trimmings. Ingredients, we need 3 egg whites, 6 tablespoons of sugar, 1/8 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. We're gonna cook this over a double boiler. So in a pot with water, using medium to low heat. We're gonna put the bowl with the egg whites on it, and then we're gonna whisk this continuously for about 6 minutes or until the egg whites is glossy and thick and it's holding stiff peaks. This takes about 6 minutes. This cooks the egg whites as well, so it's safe to eat. So this is what it looks like after 6 minutes. I'm gonna take it out of the heat and then I'm gonna continue mixing for about a minute. And then I'm gonna put this in a piping bag and you can frost the cupcakes. This is the first time that I'm using a Russian bowl tip. And it takes a lot of practice to do this. I should have tried this before making the video. So some of the icing I have to redo. You can use any tip you like for the icing. I thought that this would look cool when the center we can put some of the lemon curd as well. So if you make a mistake, you can take the icing out and do it again. Sometimes it makes a little bit of mess, but you can cover it up. I also added lemon curd in the center of the meringue, and I'm using a blowtorch to create some burnt effect on the meringue, but that's optional. If you don't have a blowtorch, you can just leave it as it is. And this is the finished product. I hope you give this a try because this meringue, lemon meringue cupcakes is really good. I can guarantee that you're gonna like this. The lemon curd is perfect, tangy and sweet. And just to show you what it looks like inside when you cut the cupcake. And this is what it looks like inside. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next week. Bye!